Hello, good morning, and welcome aboard to AM News. My name is Denise Yapomaiji. In our very first story, the U.S. court hearing former Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta's immigration status has barred the public from attending the case. This follows a request from one of Ofori-Atta's lawyers, citing sensitive issues surrounding the matter. A few minutes after the case began, the judge asked Christopher Chasen, one of the lawyers representing Ofori-Atta, if he wanted the public excluded. He confirmed the request and thanked the judge for raising the issue. U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement ICE arrested Ken Ofori-Atta about 2 weeks ago on the grounds that he's in the country illegally. Authorities are seeking to extradite him to Ghana, where two state institutions, the Office of the Special Prosecutor and the Attorney General's Office, are pursuing his prosecution over alleged malfeasance. And back here in the country, the National Anti-Illegal Mining Operations Secretariat NIMOS has confirmed that one of its personnel was shot during a routine anti-galamsey operation earlier yesterday. The incident happened along the Subi-Nkrom-Tremaso stretch in the Doma Central Municipality of the Bono region. Armed assailants hiding in the bush opened fire on the task force, leading to an exchange of gunfire. One NIMOS officer was shot in the thigh and was rushed to St. Matthew Catholic Hospital at Ampegro, where he is responding to treatment. During the confrontation, one of the armed assailants, identified as Abu Ibrahim, was shot and pronounced dead on arrival at the hospital. On your screens now are excerpts of that statement. The National Anti-Illegal Mining Operations Secretariat NIMOS wishes to inform the public that earlier yesterday, which was yesterday, Tuesday, a member of its task force was shot in the thigh by armed assailants during a routine anti-galamsey operation. It goes ahead to say that one of their officers was injured but was rushed to the St. Matthew Catholic Hospital and he's currently responding to treatment. The statement ends by saying that NIMOS wishes to assure that despite the persistent attacks and disruptions, it remains committed to fighting the scourge of illegal mining and urges all stakeholders to continue with support for its operations. Now, the Ghana Private Road Transport Union, GPRTU, says it has declared a crackdown on members engaged in unauthorized activities, including the charging of unapproved fares and engaging in short-distance operations. The union says that although most members comply with its regulations, the actions of a few drivers are tarnishing its image and must be brought to an end. Fatal Bayaga has more in the following report.
Members of the union drawn from the various zones across the region assembled at an emergency meeting in Accra to find lasting solutions to the general transport challenges in the capital. This follows a meeting between the national leadership of the union and the Minister of Transport as efforts intensify to address the recent transport challenges confronting commuters, particularly during the morning and evening rush hours. Speaking to the media after the meeting, the union spokesperson Abbas Imoro said the leadership will not take lightly the actions of members who flout the laid-down regulations.
It has been accepted all over that if anybody, any executive misbehaves towards the decision taking, that person should be suspended, and the members as well. You see, every driver who misbehaved should also receive the same punishment.
So are you saying that now GPRTU is going to wage war against individuals who do not respect these rules?
Yes, exactly. That's exactly what we've agreed upon. That's exactly what we've agreed upon. And we strongly believe it will work.
He further noted that the union's task force will soon begin operations to identify and crack down on recalcitrant drivers.
They will work during the morning and in the evenings. That is where the problem is, in the mornings and in the evenings. So that is how they are going to work.
When are they starting to operate?
We've spoken today, and some have promised starting immediately from tomorrow.
For members of the union across various transport terminals in Accra, The initiative is commendable and they believe it will help to restore sanity in the city.
We are the larger number of the transport commercial sector, so if we abide by it, it will compare the rest to also come in.
Because it is not right to charge passengers multiple times, and those engaging in the practice should stop. I believe drivers should refrain from doing what is wrong, as it will ultimately benefit all of us.
As discussions continue, the union maintains that enforcing discipline among its members remains key to easing the transport challenges in Accra. For Joy News, Fatah Obayaga, Accra.
From Accra, let me take you to the Ashanti region. Chief Executive of the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly, Richard Ofori-Atta says the Assembly will forcefully evict defiant occupants along the Ahojo-Santasi Road. Now, when the Love News team visited the stretch yesterday, the temporary occupants had yet to vacate, despite a final eviction notice issued by the Assembly to pave the way for preliminary works on the road dualization project. However, the Kumasi mayor says a task force will be deployed to clamp down on billboards and other temporary structures erected along the stretch. Emmanuel Bryce Kweku reports.
A typical Tuesday morning along the Santasi to Ahojo stretch in Kumasi, with traders going about their daily economic activities. Many of these temporary occupants were expected to vacate the premises for the road dualization projects following a final eviction notice from the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly. But they continue to occupy spaces along areas earmarked for the road construction.
The government came to write our names and promised to give us a place to relocate, but we have not heard from them. We will leave when we see that the work has begun.
The Assembly, after deliberations with car dealers along the route, agreed to relocate them. But the business owners are concerned over the state of the allocated areas. Davis Echampo is the secretary of the Car Dealers Association in the Ashanti region.
Those places are okay. For most, the one at behind the forestry department, we even proposed there for them, and I think Zuba have already completed with the issue of the land. He also, through his leadership, acquired Golden Tulip, the down area there for us. And then the Parks and Gardens. But Parks and Gardens, there's a land there, but it will not help us unless it is well developed because of the flooding of that area. Because we can't put expensive cars there, and then when it rains 1 or 2 days, the whole area gets flooded.
Kumasi Mayor Richard Ofori-Atta says the Assembly is ready for a forceful eviction beginning tomorrow.
Compensation agreement with anybody whatsoever. Those at Asukwa stretch, we have seen that the construction has begun and they are moving them. We have asked them to come for us to look for alternative places for them. If you don't come and the construction meets you, that's your headache. Nobody has any title to any land there. So they cannot use that to sabotage us. Some have come. We have relocated them. Sit at your car garage and expect that I will come and kneel and beg you to move from the place. When the construction gets to your destination, you move whether you like it.
Works are steadily progressing here at the Asokwa interchange that would link to the Ahojo Santasi road dualization. And as you can see behind me, culverts have been mounted and contractors are on site ensuring that this phase of the roadworks will be completed. But for the temporary occupants along the Santasi Ahojo stretch, they want their concerns heeded to in the coming days or months before they move out. From here at Santasi and Asokwa in the Ashanti region, my name is Emmanuel Bryce Kweku.
And now to some other stories. The European Union Ambassador to Ghana, His Excellency Roon Skimback, says the Union is focusing on northern Ghana to tackle poverty, climate risk and security issues. High-level engagement with traditional leaders at the EU delegation office targeted poverty, food insecurity and conflict in the north. The following report has more. Efforts to tackle poverty, food insecurity and conflict in northern Ghana took center stage during a high-level engagement between traditional leadership and the European Union in Accra. The meeting brought together the Vice President of the National House of Chiefs and the EU Ambassador to Ghana to explore partnerships aimed at unlocking the agricultural potential of the Savannah Ecological Zone and addressing the drivers of migration. Vice President of the National House of Chiefs, His Royal Highness Buperia Abdullahi Jinapot II, warned that poverty remains the main driver of conflict and irregular migration from northern Ghana to the south and onward to Europe.
As the saying say, a hungry man is a hungry man. See, this conflict that we are fighting is all poverty. If everybody is busy, everybody is satisfied. If there's production and marketing, and the only way we can achieve our aim successfully is to fall on partnership with the European Union.
Executive Director of the Savannah Farmers Brigade, Benaperua Sungbori I, says the vast land and water resources of the Savannah Ecological Zone can be transformed into engines of food security and stability if properly utilized.
These are resources that can bring food. These are resources that can give us economic justice. These are resources that can create peace in our land if we utilize them properly. And utilizing them properly will only come when we are well organized. Properly will only come when we are well organized. It is where there is land and there is poverty.
EU Ambassador to Ghana, His Excellency Roon Skimback, reaffirmed the European Union's strong focus on northern Ghana.
In fact, 60% of our development cooperation is delivered in northern Ghana, not just the northern region, but also northeast, upper west, upper east, and indeed the Savannah. The EU prioritizes northern Ghana because it faces the highest level of poverty, limited access to basic services, and significant infrastructure gaps.
The engagement ended with both sides agreeing to push for concrete action with the goal of turning northern Ghana's agricultural potential into real jobs, stability, and hope for the youth. For Joy News, Evelyn Ampers report read to you. Let me now take you to the Central region. The Member of Parliament for Goma Central, Kwame Asare-Obin, has renewed calls for a dedicated port in the region to support industrialization as plans progress for the Goma Central Special Economic Zone. Speaking at the Ghana Investment Promotion Center's Central Regional Investment Forum, he said the proposed port would link major free zones and industrial enclaves across Africa, boosting intra-African trade and exports. The forum is part of GIPC's Regional Investment Roadshow under its Investment Opportunity Mapping Project.
Stakeholders from across Ghana's investment and governance landscape converged in Cape Coast as the Ghana Investment Promotion Center GIPC held its Regional Investment Roadshow aimed at spotlighting viable investment opportunities within the Central region. The Public Relations Officer of GIPC, Zainab Issa, noted that the Central region has numerous untapped investment opportunities, stressing the need for deliberate marketing and strategic promotion to unlock their full potential.
You know, the Central region, as the speakers had discussed earlier, is a historic region. We know it to be one of the, has the best coastal, it's the tourism hub. But aside tourism, there are other opportunities here that has not been fully explored. Looking at the fisheries and aquaculture sector, we're looking at even the agriculture sector in general. And so we want to be able to market these opportunities to the international and even the local investor, that the central region, even though it's one of the, the historic hubs that we are proud of as a country, has other opportunities that can be explored, so that the people within the region can also take advantage of the opportunities that will be set up, and then also, be able to get the jobs that is needed. We are also using this to champion the government's agenda of, the 24-hour economy, because we drive with, as a center, we drive or we move with the government's policies. And so we are taking advantage to let the people understand what the 24-hour economy is, the big push agenda, because when they come, when we have the support of the chiefs and the people in the region, all these projects that the government of the day is trying to champion will be successful.
Referencing the Gumwa Central Special Economic Zone, the Member of Parliament for the area, Kwame Asare-Obeng, outlined plans to industrialize the region, underscoring the need for a dedicated port to support the initiative.
We are signing an MOU with the African Union, that's the AU. We are going to have a partnership with the Africa Continental Free Trade Area, so that for the first time we are going to have an after GCSCZ free zones enclave. This enclave is going to be the biggest free zones enclave anywhere in Africa. We have a 10-year plan to build this, and I'm excited that we have had this event here today to sell potential investment potentials in the central region.
The president of the Central Regional House of Chiefs, Odefo Amwakwa Boidu VIII, emphasized the pivotal role of traditional authorities in fostering investor confidence and supporting sustained investment growth.
We have started collating our land banks to ensure that when investor comes, we know where to let them go. If somebody comes right now and says, I need 2,000 acres for this, I know where to direct him, because we have started gathering land banks for investors. So we have our bit to do, and I'm sure that as chiefs, we know that when our people are happy, that's what we are also looking for, the well-being of our people.
From Cape Coast, Abigail Lissol and Nkrumah reports for Joy News.
It's time now for our business updates. Yahanta Pili, Samuel Kojo will bring us that after this breather.
Let's do business updates now and to our first story. The Chamber of Bulk Oil Distributors is hitting back against calls by some oil marketing companies for the removal of the price floor policy. The policy was introduced by the National Petroleum Authority to set a price ceiling for downstream oil marketing companies as a protective measure. However, it has been met with stiff opposition by some OMCs who say the policy is outdated and counterproductive. By speaking to Joy Business, CEO of the Chamber of Bulk Oil Distributors, Dr. Patrick Ken Ofori says the floor price policy is necessary in addressing critical challenges in the sector.
I've heard the argument that others are making that the floor pricing is archaic. It is not. 15% of the downstream market is controlled by illicit and non-compliant oil marketing companies. Those who are owing the tax authorities, those who are failing to pay the required income taxes. And with the floor price, the tax authorities are able to know the volume of product that you've treated, and based on this, what profit margin you've made to enable them even calculate taxes and know what variables will deem your price go up or your cost item that they will either allow or disallow. And these are measures that came in based on industry consultation. That was not just the introduction of the regulators waking up one morning to do that. Why do we say this? At a point in time, if you've forgotten, in 2004 or 2003, we all came to the realization of the number of illicit petroleum products that were being sold in the market. Others who were even cited for UPPF infractions. And these are all other aspects that we need to probe into and ensure that the regulator provide a fair, level playing field. While the floor price may be one of the mechanisms to avert some of these illicit activity and non-compliance within the sector, we push for the regulator to crack down on all those who have been found culpable of any of these illicit activities, be it selling of adulterated fuel or not providing a healthy occupational health standard for people who are working at the various filling stations.
Let's wrap up the business update with what's happening on the commodities market. That's all in business. Back to you, Denisia Pomaje.
Thank you, Samuel Kujubrace. And that's it for AM News. Please, if you want more news, I know a place, myjoyonline.com. My name is Denisia Pomaje. Up next is sports. Enjoy the rest of the show.